What's the reason Jungkook and V left HYBE? Here's the strongest speculation. Two BTS members, Jungkook and V, are said to have made a shocking move that could change the course of their future in South Korea's entertainment industry, leaving HYBE, the agency that made their names known worldwide. This decision immediately sparked widespread speculation, raising deep questions among industry observers, the media, and even loyal fans. Is this merely a long-term career strategy, or is there a deeper conflict behind the scenes? Although there has been no official statement confirming a formal resignation from the main contract with HYBE, several credible internal sources claim that both Jungkook and V have shown strong signs of distancing themselves from the agency's central management structure. This move is evident in their activity patterns, which are now more individual, independent in major projects, and external collaborations no longer fully under the company's control. One of the strongest speculations currently circulating mentions that differing artistic visions have become the main trigger. Jungkook, in various interviews, often mentions his desire to explore R&B and soul music further with a more experimental approach. Meanwhile, V is known for his highly personal artistic orientation, leaning toward acting, jazz, and visual arts. Both are seen as increasingly struggling to adapt to HYBE's commercial strategy, which is still tied to the image and framework of an idol group. Not only that, another question arises. Is this move related to BTS's future as a whole? If two of the 7 members take different paths, could this mark the beginning of the group's gradual disintegration? Several industry analysts mention that HYBE is facing serious challenges in maintaining BTS's cohesiveness post-military service and the members' solo expansions. With the start of a new era where members focus more on solo projects, Jungkook and V's decision could set a precedent that reshapes today's K-pop industry. Internal conflict also cannot be ignored as an important variable. Some reports state that tension between artists and management has increased since last year, especially concerning the division of control over copyrights, digital revenue, and intellectual ownership of individual works. Jungkook is known to be actively involved in writing his own songs and is reportedly seeking broader creative autonomy, something difficult to achieve while still within a highly structured and controlled system like HYBE's. Another equally interesting speculation is branding strategy and global marketing direction. Jungkook, now the face of several international brands like Calvin Klein and V, who has close ties with elite European fashion houses, appear to want to separate their personal identities from the BTS label itself. In the world of fashion and global endorsements, individual approaches are often more effective than collective ones, so leaving the agency could be a strategic move to maximize their personal branding. However, despite all the circulating theories, the public is still faced with one major dilemma. Was this decision made voluntarily and strategically, or was there a certain pressure that made them feel compelled to part ways with the agency that has supported them for over a decade? Is this move a subtle form of resistance against HYBE's structural dominance over its artists? Or is it actually part of a mutual agreement designed to usher in a new phase in each BTS member's individual career? From HYBE's side, their stance on this issue appears ambiguous. Official statements tend to be vague, neither confirming nor denying the circulating news, further strengthening the assumption that something is happening behind the scenes. This silent strategy may be intended to control stock market reactions and maintain the company's stability image in the eyes of investors. Meanwhile, ARMY, BTS's global fanbase, is split between disappointment and support. Many expressed shock over the news, but also stressed that they would continue to support any decision made by Jungkook and V, as long as it is for their personal growth and artistic freedom. This reflects a new dynamic between artists and fans, one that is more mature, no longer tied solely to the group format, but also to values of individuality and freedom of expression. In conclusion, although there is still no absolute confirmation about Jungkook and V's contract status with HYBE, the signs and movement patterns of both point to a conclusion that is hard to ignore. A major shift is underway, and this is no ordinary transition phase. If it is true that they chose to leave HYBE, then the public must ask, is this the end of an era, or the beginning of something greater? And more importantly, In an era where agencies and artists mutually shape and restrain one another, who truly holds the power? Jungkook and V are reported to have left HYBE, and the news immediately sent shockwaves across South Korea's entertainment landscape. But hold on, are we really witnessing reality? Or are we trapped in a narrative deliberately built to stir public frenzy? This is a moment when we must pause and ask, what is actually happening? Suspicions regarding the departure of BTS's most iconic duo from the agency that raised their name spread rapidly via TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and various other media. But to this day, no official statement has firmly confirmed or denied this news. So, where did this information come from? How reliable is it? The most talked about speculation is a divergence in artistic vision that no longer aligns with the company's direction. Jungkook is said to want to focus on more authentic and experimental music genres, while V has shown strong interest in visual arts and acting. But behind that narrative, we must ask, is artistic difference enough reason to walk away from a $1 billion contract? Or could this be a covert marketing strategy to gain global attention, create drama that could boost fan enthusiasm, and elevate their solo presence? So, who benefits? Are we being presented with facts, or merely part of a media script that may not be valid? Internal tension is also a recurring theme in the growing narrative. Issues over disagreements on creative control and song copyright have resurfaced. But is there any solid evidence? Or are we simply following the trail of unverified fragments from speculative accounts, video clips, and anonymous leaks with unclear origins? Furthermore, many believe this is a branding strategy move. But if that's true, why hasn't it been publicly announced by HYBE or the artists themselves? Is there a deeper motive hidden behind the scenes? Or is this simply a manipulation of information meant to create the illusion of tension that doesn't really exist? We must emphasize that most of the information circulating comes from sources whose accuracy cannot be confirmed. Social media, though fast in spreading news, is often a fertile ground for assumptions, illusions, and even hoaxes. So it's fair to raise the important question: are you sure you've received complete and accurate information? Amid all this noise, HYBE remains silent. Their silence only adds to the mystery and strengthens speculation. But perhaps it's a strategy to protect stock value or reduce panic. So HYBE's silence, evidence of something hidden? Or simply a cautious step to avoid spreading unripe information? The public, especially ARMY, is divided. Some instantly believe and feel disappointed, while others choose to wait for more valid proof. But in today's media atmosphere, so sensational and often click-driven, how can we be sure that the narrative being built isn't a product of manipulative framing? Let's reflect together. Are we merely swallowing the presented information whole? Or can we critically trace what truly lies behind those loud headlines? Does this article reflect the truth? Or are you reading a scenario created for a certain agenda? It's important to realize, truth doesn't always shout the loudest. It's often buried beneath louder, more dramatic and viral narratives. Therefore, we invite you, the readers, to not just be passive consumers of information. Ask yourself, where did this news come from? Who's spreading it? What's the motive behind it? Question it, doubt it, and don't believe too easily. The entertainment world is a vast stage, full of illusions and narratives. And as the audience, we have the right to choose, to be swept away by the drama, or to stand as critical and skeptical observers. Finally, let us remember that all the information we deliver comes from various social media and popular digital channels. However, its validity has not been fully confirmed officially. Therefore, be wise in drawing conclusions. Don't let truth be defeated by sensation. Thank you.